We got a lot to get to here.
All right, then let's get going.
Let's get it. In partnership with Woodford Reserve Bourbon, the Simms Top 40 Quarterback Countdown. Your number 3 quarterback of 2021 is...
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Oh. You're still the greatest I've ever seen. Sorry for dropping you to 3. Man, Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I know he's number 3. It hurts my soul. It really does. And hopefully everybody can appreciate this for me just being honest in my evaluation. I don't play favorites, even though this is my favorite quarterback of all time. He is. And I still think he's the greatest I've ever seen. Yeah, that's right. But MVP, I know people are going to have a hard time kind of swallowing, the fact that he's the MVP and it was 45-8 and what are you, or 48-5, excuse me. And he dropped a spot. Well, I mean, it's almost like I want to have the conversation with him and the next guy. I want to reveal it so we can go, but I won't do that quite yet.
No, you can. I think should we
go?
Do it, Pete? Let's do it. Hey, Kristen, are you ready to roll the front end
for
the
number
number
2?
Number
2.
You ready to roll that?
Let's so we can have the conversation and just do it this way.
And number 2 for you then is...
Giddy up, Josh Allen. Giddy up, it's my boy Blue. That's right. Wow. Man, I'm telling you, it's my boy Blue. It's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I went back and forth with this. You can ask the Simms family. Had a lot of conversations. Had a few conversations around football, too, about this specific spot. Because I was like, wait, I'm torn. They're both awesome. They both throw lasers everywhere around the football field. Of course, Rodgers is still so surgical with decision-making, accuracy, and all of those type of things. I mean, his arm is still, it's only behind the 2 guys that are in front of him in football. It's still a phenomenal, world-class, game-changing type arm. But with all that stuff, the experience, yes, he's better at maybe reading a defense and getting the ball out of his hands quickly. He might be even, a little bit more accurate and, quick decision, boom, let me get it there.
Right.
But it's not enough. Okay, yeah, he has the advantage of that over Josh Allen, but it's not enough to overcome all the plays Josh Allen makes. It's unbelievable. When you go back and watch it, I mean, you certainly could argue that Josh Allen was the MVP of football last year. You certainly could. I mean, again, a team with no running system. He was second on their team in rushing. You got to add his 8 touchdown rushes to the mix, too, because it's a big part of what they do. When they get in the 6-7 yard line, they ask Josh Allen to score touchdowns, running the ball. And, he made more game-changing, game-saving, unbelievable plays than maybe anybody in football last year, Josh Allen. And that's why he got the rank. Whether it's 3rd and 22, we're down to the Rams. Oh, wait, that's Aaron Donald on my back? And he shrugs him off and then runs to the right and throws a laser down the middle on 3rd and 22 against the best defense in football. Oh, we needed a touchdown then to go win the game? No problem, guys. Okay. Oh, it's 2nd and 10 in the playoff game. We're on our own 2-yard line. All the momentum's against us. I can't find it. He scrambles to the right, throws a 40-yard bomb perfectly down the right sideline. It's just that all year long. It's all year long. So, yes, Rodgers, more accurate. Definitely a little bit more of the surgical like I'm talking about, but not so much more that he makes up for the difference of what Josh Allen brings to the playmaking table now. Josh Allen really got into surgical mode himself too. You watched him all year last year. He was great from the pocket. But the thing is when there was nobody open or the pocket broke down, you could argue nobody was more dangerous in football than Josh Allen last year. And what he did, outside the pocket, manipulate coverage, throw a laser somewhere.
There was a CBS story that talked about his hero ball element from the game.
Sure.
And he said he's basically eliminated that from his game. His turnover-worthy plays have gone from 5.1% as a rookie to 4% to then 3.5% last year. And so taking care of the ball.
Taking care of the ball, let's just stop there because I want you to keep going.
Okay.
Taking care of the ball, and everything's on him. They don't try to run the ball. They don't try to do anything. Defense was average all last year. It is literally nobody plays the game more through their quarterback and puts the game on their quarterback, in my opinion, on Josh Allen or Mahomes more. Are they even more? Because at least Rodgers has a decent defense. He has a top-tier pass-protecting offensive line, and he has a run game to go along with it. So not disrespecting Rodgers here, but I'm just saying those other 2 teams basically just go, here's the ball, quarterback. We're going to put you in shotgun, make it happen, throw lasers today. And that's where, to me, he has surpassed Rodgers, who, again, I love my Aaron Rodgers. I love him. It was not easy for me to do this, but the Bills aren't 13-3. unless they have Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes.
Look at the jump up. If you're watching
Yeah.
on YouTube right now, you see 2018, 2019, and then 2020. He was last in completion percentage, 2018, 2019, and then fourth last year, just below 70%. He was fifth in passing yards. You're right. They put it on his shoulder, and it was something they hadn't done previously.
No.
They thought he could handle it,
Right.
and he not only handled it, he excelled and took him up to number 2 on your list here. But man, Aaron Rodgers won the MVP last year, and he had a historic year in a career that has been historic in 2020, and his season ranks are up there.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Yeah. This is a tough
list,
one,
This
man.
list for you is not about, can a guy do this for 5 more years? Is he going to be the better quarterback
right now
in 2021?
Exactly. Thank you.
So you're saying you have a team, you have a team that you're drafting for, right? And Patrick Mahomes is off the board. And so you're sitting there at number 2, and you got 1 year to win the Super Bowl. And you got the guy who just won you don't need Aaron Rodgers to be good in 2022, 2023, 2024. You just need him to be good in 2021. And even in that just one short year period, the experience that Rodgers brings, all that, the playmaking ability of Josh Allen is just greater in your eyes to unseat Aaron. You would pass on Aaron Rodgers and go Josh Allen.
I would, right now. It doesn't. I think he can make more out of less. Okay, that's really what I'm coming down to.
Sure,
and yeah, like you're spot on. Again, if it was,
you'd have people in your room going, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
Yeah, exactly right. Right, you're exactly right. And I'd go, I know he's going to give us everything we want. He's going to do all the right things with the football and all that type of stuff too. But my argument would be like, hey, get over it. Get over the old narrative. Josh Allen does the right thing with the football too. He does it. He takes care of it. Let alone he makes some of the most unbelievable plays you'll ever see. He is the Buffalo Bills. He's the Buffalo Bills right now. This is like Aaron Rodgers 6-7 years ago. This is what I feel like we're watching with him and Mahomes. He is them. Yeah, they have a good offensive line, not great. Way below average running game. Passing weapons are good, not great. I think people overrate them. Diggs is awesome. John Brown, there's a reason he signed a $1 million contract with another team. He's not what everybody tried to make him up to be to bring down Josh Allen in the, overall big picture of the world. That's what people tried to do last year.
Right.
Their weapons were better. That's why he's better. Oh, okay. I know none of the other quarterbacks have any weapons. But here's to me where and obviously everybody can count and knows Mahomes is coming up at number 1. But this is to me where this new age quarterback is different, right? And Josh Allen, I'll even throw Watson in this mix a little bit this way, but really Josh Allen and Mahomes, right? To where, first off, okay, yeah, I'm going to say this first. I have a few points written down. So I'm already down here.
I know you're revealing 3 quarterbacks at once. We've never done this before.
I know.
So,
I think it's good to have this conversation like this instead of because it is about these 3 next to each other, right?
Yep.
So, okay.
It's what separates them.
Right. So, Allen, amazing, carries the offense, does everything like that. The difference between him and Mahomes right now and the rest of the world, even Rodgers, anybody else, I said Watson because he does do this a little too. But hot routes, right? Hot routes. You blitz, you got to get the ball out to a certain guy, right? So let's just say they're bringing the weak side blitz. It's the free safety. It's 4 guys coming with. The quarterback play is now whoever that receiver over there, I'm going to give him a signal or a route, something short. And now since they blitz there's going to be a little voided area. We're going to throw it quick in there and get the ball, right? That's the true quarterback 101. That's what Rodgers and Brady are going to do. Allen and Mahomes also know how to do that. But they're going to go, I'll block one of them. I'm not so sure I'm going to let you off the hook and just throw this slant, though. I'm not so sure. I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to give this guy a down-the-field throw, see if he gets open maybe before this guy gets here to me, and I might hit him. But if he doesn't get open right away, then I'll just let this guy get close to me, and I'll make him miss. And then Diggs is going to be down the other sideline as one-on-one. I'm going to throw a 40-yard laser. That's where they're different. They just, it's constant pressure. It's all about them. It's all about, just give him the ball and let's make guys go down the field and do this because they'll maximize every play we throw at them. And to me, that's where they've separated from Rodgers a little bit.
Sure.
The accuracy has not been an issue for Josh Allen for 2 years. What he's finally done now, as compared from the jump of 2019 to 2020, is the decision-making's gotten better. some of his best plays in Wyoming or even 2019 are these throws that is quadruple coverage. And like I've told you before, it gets in there and hits the receiver, and he just didn't think it's going to get there. He drops it or whatever. They're amazing throws, but it's just you go, don't make the decision. Don't make that throw. Now he knows when to kind of make that and when not to. And that's to me where he's gone next level on the whole NFL and why I gave him the slight edge over Aaron Rodgers.
Let's put a bow on Aaron Rodgers here. One more thing, because his last 3 seasons have been elite. I mean, it's been elite his whole career.
99 and what?
Seems like he's getting better.
I think it's 99 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in the
last
last 3
crazy.
years.
Which, what was it? Last year you were saying, I hope he throws a few more interceptions because I want him to take chances. Well, he took more chances, but he didn't necessarily throw more interceptions.
I know.
You got the good without any of the bad. So here's the last 3 years for Aaron Rodgers. One of his best just last year.
I still think he tries to play too perfect, to your point.
Okay. So
I do think that a little bit.
Maybe a couple more.
I'd have been happy because if he threw 8 or 9 interceptions, he probably had 52 touchdown passes.
48 touchdowns to 5 interceptions.
That's insane. I know.
So he was number 1 on your list in 2018.
Yep.
Number 1 in 2019. He was number 3 to start last year and then moved up to number 2 in November. Is there anything he can do to get back into that top spot? Is there anything that could happen in 2021 where you say, you know what? I would take Aaron Rodgers over everyone after what I just saw.
Yeah, I mean, if I felt like Allen and Mahomes fell off, I mean, I'm not going to it would take them slipping up. I think it's going to take them slipping too, and then him playing still phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take that.
Yeah.
They're such forces of nature right now, those two. They really are. Like I said, everything is dictated around them, even the run game. So that's where they're special. I mean, really, again, we know Lamar and Kyler Murray, right? They're the best running quarterbacks in football. Who's third?
Josh Allen.
Yeah. Who's fourth?
Deshaun Watson.
Or Mahomes. I mean, it's one of them.
Yeah.
It's one of them, right? Probably Watson gets the edge there. And then it's Mahomes. But, I mean, that's what kind of guy we're talking about here. We're talking whoa, unbelievable decisions, unbelievable right arm. What almost runs as good as Lamar and Kyler Murray? It's the modern day super freak we got right now at the quarterback position. And Mahomes and Allen, to me, they're their smarts, their mental approach to the game, their aggressive approach to decision making, and then their pure physical ability, to me, puts more pressure on defenses than any 2 quarterbacks in football right now. Yeah, Rodgers does a little bit more I'm going to get us in the right play, and I know where to get the ball out real quick against this coverage. You're not going to be able to stop this no matter what in this coverage. Yeah, does he have that advantage over both of them? Yes, but like I said, it's the other stuff that I think, puts them above him and makes them solidly 1 and 2 for me.
All right, so Allen was 18th. Last year, moved all the way up to 5th in your November top 10 rankings. You've always been high on Josh Allen.
Right.
You've always thought that he could harness some of his great ability.
Yes.
He could become a more accurate passer.
Yep.
This was interesting because you're a big mechanics guy.
Yep.
That's how you evaluate a lot of these quarterbacks, the draft quarterbacks coming out. Recently, Josh Allen was asked about his mechanics. And you talked about it a little bit with him.
Yeah, we've had these
year.
conversations. Yep.
This was a quote recently. He said, physically, just making sure you're staying on top of your mechanics and everything sequencing correctly. I got a guy, Chris, who owns Biometrics. Is that you?
No, it's not. Sorry.
That came out last week. I did some more digital mapping of my mechanics, just making sure I'm staying on top of that and allowing my muscle memory to kind of take that in and stop reverting back to old ways.
Yeah.
So here is an NFL quarterback who's been throwing his whole life, who is making sure he's doing biometric mapping of his motion, of his hips, of his arm.
Because sequencing is a real thing.
I mean, it's so important that he's bringing guys out, and they're doing it every year, even after his best year ever.
He's when I went and visited him 2 years ago, I knew he was the man. All right, that was when I went there. It was only 1 year in, but I went, oh, he's the man. I could tell the whole team was already like, man, he's the man. He's awesome. He's going to be a superstar. You could tell being there.
Yeah.
He's all in on it. He lives there. He loves it. It's what he does. He wants to be great. He wants to be Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Tom. He wants to be that kind of guy. I see that within him. And then, of course, we saw the step last year that we talked. I think we talked about it a little. Maybe that was me and Florio. But I mean, last year, just tells you where he was at early in the year because they gave it all to him right away. I think it was you and me last year. We were talking about like week 2, the Dolphins game. All of a sudden they were just I kept going, oh, they're going to manage him here. The game's getting close in the fourth quarter. And it was just the opposite. It was like, no, just fucking keep throwing it deep.
Yeah.
And that's where I went, whoa, they trust him and everything along with that. But my point to saying all that is because he does the stuff you're talking about. See, they can trust him when they know the guy's all in all the time. Hey, he's always here. He's always with Dayball. He's always working on his mechanics. He's always throwing with the receivers. He's always talking ball. He put on the film and just watched third downs today. So that gives them the confidence to go, here's the keys. Go ahead. You got it. You're the man. And, yeah, he's all over that. And sequencing's important, as we've talked about with a lot of the quarterback breakdown stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You can be all in the same positions, but if you're leading through the elbow like a Justin Fields or doing something wrong, it could lead to the wrong sequencing as you're throwing the ball after the release, to which the ball is going to go anywhere. So he's all over all of that type of stuff.
And he's got such a strong arm that you figure, like, of all people, he might just be like, I'm just going to use I don't need to really worry about the nitty-gritty and all that. I've got the arm strength to overcome a bad mechanics.
Right.
And he still doesn't. And he knows that helps him, his accuracy, and it certainly did last year. Now, they're offensively, you mentioned it. I mean, they put it on his shoulder. He still had the most play-action yards of anyone in 2020, which you wonder, how do you get away with that if no one's really scared of their running game there? Do you think that going into this year that they're going to need to figure out some sort of I mean, at some point, teams are just going to go like, all right, you really aren't going to run the ball.
No. I mean, you could argue that last year. It's like you would have said, like, I believe I even said this in some podcasts at the end of the year. Like, if you see them running the ball, I mean, your linebackers just run around the other way. Like, just show them they're going to prove to me you're going to run the ball a few times. Is what I wanted to say to some defenses. Like, show me. And then I'll stop biting on the play action. And then you start doing that. But you're right. That's why play action is amazing. Dayball is amazing from that because he's learned from New England and just the effect it has. And then when you have a guy who has a big arm, if you just get like one slight wrong step from the linebacker, he can find, there's a slight hole. I'll throw the laser to Diggs. Boom, it doesn't matter. But to your question, yes, they have to change. And there's talk up there. If you read the press clippings and everything like that, they know that. They realize they're going to be, I think, a little bit, I don't want to say the Steelers, but realize, like, we can't just ask this guy to go, hey, drop back 45 times and just make everybody miss and run all over the field and make every throw possible and win the games. That's not realistic to ask for a second year in a row. So I do think you're going to see more of a balanced attack on the offensive side of the ball from them this year. I think that's what Sean McDermott wants to do. He just early on last year, they kind of realized, wait, we're not blocking that well. We're struggling. And they had to kind of abandon, I think, the way they really wanted to play, especially with the Dolphins and the Rams in week 2 or 3, who really just took away their run game.
Right.
And that changed things. But, yes, to your point, they have to change.
Yeah, because I mentioned that his rate of turnover-worthy plays has gone down each of the last 3 years, but Pro Football Focus noted that he still had the second most turnover-worthy plays. That's because they just threw the ball so much. He had more opportunities, so the sheer amount was still high just because they put it all.
I know, but what is a
shoulder.
turnover-worthy play?
Good question.
Like, this is where I don't know, and I've seen stuff of this before where I just want to go, is a turnover-worthy play a ball that, like, could have been intercepted, but he threw the most perfect pass just outside the guys and it got complete? Because then I would go, it's like the Mahomes thing where I go, it's luck. Oh, it's luck. Oh, it's wait. Oh, that's the 74th time I've said that today. It's not luck anymore. Like, that's where I don't know.
Maybe it dropped.
I would like to know that.
Yeah,
maybe dropped interceptions. I'm sure some of that happened. I mean, he definitely had some dropped interceptions as the year. You're gonna if they play the style they play.
Well, that's a skill too because he throws it so hard, and maybe DBs can't catch it.
I do think there is something to that. Yes, right.
I was looking at odds for MVP, and there was a sport book. It was not our NBC Sports PointsBet Sportsbook, although I'm sure they have similar numbers here. It was the most popular ticket for MVP, like who has gotten the most tickets, who's bought the most tickets, and Josh Allen is tied with Matthew Stafford as the number of tickets that they've sold.
What are his odds right now? Like, they're probably pretty good odds, right?
Yeah, I don't know what PointsBet is at right now, but according to this, Allen's at like plus 1,000, Stafford's at plus 2,000. So it's a couple quarterbacks that you're getting decent
for good value
odds on. I don't know if that Allen would be the favorite. I doubt he would. It would be Mahomes, and then it would be Rodgers after that, and then maybe Brady.
So. Maybe Brady, yeah.
But Josh Allen's getting the share because you get a little value with Josh Allen. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. As far as total money wagered, Allen is tied for second with Brady and Patrick Mahomes and Matthew Stafford. I thought this was interesting. According to this one sportsbook, though, they've taken the most money on Baker Mayfield.
Well, he'd be another one.
Plus 2,000.
Yeah.
So maybe a value there.
That would be value for sure.
But Josh Allen's in this conversation either way. And so, he really, when you think of who could win the MVP, he's a top 4. He's a top 4 MVP candidate, and it's not a stretch to see how he could win it this year.
No, it's not. I mean, of course, hey, the team's got to play well. We know he's got to have another year that's similar to what he had. Nobody made more highlight, unbelievable plays than Josh Allen last year. He led football in that category, and that's over Patrick Mahomes, who I'm saying is like the human highlight film.
Was it so good, amazing. Though? Was it so good that he can't help but take a step back this year?
I think you will take a step back if they try to play the same way they did last year.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, it's just too much to ask of the guy with not enough talent around it to help.
He could almost fall. Yeah, he could almost fall into the Lamar Jackson trap, right? Where Lamar Jackson was so good, and you talked about it on the last pod with Paul, where he was so good.
Then this year was good, but nobody wanted to give it credit because
maybe they played a little differently, you know, and who knows how that affected the numbers. But the numbers might, like if they do change it and they take some off of his plate and they have a little bit better running game and his numbers are down because of that, you look at him and be like, oh, he wasn't quite as good as he was last year. That could hurt him.
Well, it could. But I still think with him, regardless, and Dayball, they're so aggressive. He's going to make his plays and do his type of thing. So even if the numbers are less, it's going to be about the importance of those plays. You know, what kind of magnitude or what effect did they have on the game? And to me, that's where he's amazing. See, he had, like, him and Mahomes clearly, to me, had the most game-changing, effectiveness with throws and completions where you're going, oh, wow, they're in trouble. Oh, they made 2 or 3 throws. Now they have the power. The momentum's on their side. The game somehow has swung in their pendulum. Right. Or they're like, oh, they're kind of winning. They're kind of dominating. It's 10-0. Are they really going to make a few more plays? They're like, go up 20-0 or 24? Oh, they are. Okay. See, that's where they're amazing. They can really like, oh, we're down and bring back momentum. Or, hey, we're winning. It's time to put the dagger in. Here it comes. Dagger. Like that's where they're really special that way.
He is special. He's more special, you think, going into this year than Aaron Rodgers.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.